Jean? I think it's Jean, or I don't think is it Jean or Jean? I'm sorry. I apologize if I didn't. I'm terrible with names. English is my second language, so it's like I sometimes don't. I'm really bad with names. Thank you for submitting this ticket. It says hot and turn itself off. I don't mean to laugh at you. It's just the way it's worded. It's kind of funny. My computer is too hot and it's making noise while running. So this is typical of a computer that's overheating. And the main thing you can do is open up the computer and make sure it's cleaned from dust. That's the main reason. Second reason is that the fact that you said it's too hot, then it's most likely just dirty. There are a couple of other reasons. Um, well, first of all, let's kind of back up here. My computer is too hot, right? And it's making noise while running. So because it's too hot, it's making noise while it's running because the fans are hot, the fans inside the computer are turned on to really high to try to cool it off. So step number one, let's do this. Hello, my name is Irvin with PC support. Please follow below steps. Number one, open computer and clean any dust. Number two, check to see if you have a virus. And the reason I'm saying this, excuse me, is if you go to Task Manager and your CPU here is going 100%, not like 5% here or 3%, which is normal operations. If it's going like 99%, 100%, or anything that's above 50, 60%, then you have something in the background that's running. So if you sort by CPU process, you can see the top one is taking up the most power. If you see something that looks really weird here that you don't recognize, then it might be a virus. So select it and end task if you can. And then see if your computer temperature goes down and see if your fans become less loud or it's not as loud, right? The fan's speed goes down. Obviously do a virus check using your antivirus just to make sure. Number three, is you may need to, well, it's kind of given here. I just want to say here on the first one, when you open computer and clean any dust, make sure, all vents are free of obstructions, meaning don't block the vents. You guys know what I mean. The holes where the fan blow, and not just that, where it sucks air in. So you may have a fan that's sucking air in and one that is blowing air out. You will have that on a computer. So make sure there are no obstructions, but you should be able to check that while you're checking for dust and clean any dust. Make sure they're not blocked and all that. You may need to, for number three, you may need to check CPU fan / heatsink. Make sure you may need to check CPU fan heatsink ... to make sure it's attached, because I've seen this before too where the heatsink is not attached. Let me show you. CPU heatsink images. Here, this is good enough here. Make sure that heatsink is attached and completely connected here. and you can just press it and to see if it's wiggling too much, then you may have to reattach it. But you also may want to check at the same time and possibly replace thermal paste. Now, only try to do this as a last resort. As a last resort. Because this doesn't happen often, but, you know, it takes a little bit of tech knowledge uh, to properly do this, you know. And I have videos on how to apply thermal paste and all that. Let me know if you actually want to see that video. I'm not going to link it here, but let me know if somebody wants to see it, and I'll send you a link to it, and I have a show how to do this properly. Actually, you know what? It makes more sense for me to actually just pop it up here and show you how it's done. And yeah, if it's loose, and possibly change thermal paste. Thermal paste is used between the CPU and CPU heatsink. So underneath here, there is the CPU, and what connects that and this heatsink is this paste, thermal paste that conducts the thermal or hotness, that conducts the hotness. All right, and I'm going to say, please let me know if that helps.